Welcome back, first graders. So now we're going to explore the idea of texture using some pretty unusual materials. And if you have access to coming to school, and if you're, being a distance learner and getting these materials, I would recommend it. Please come do that. And if you can't, that's okay too. You can continue to experiment with texture just by making it visual, and that's fine. That's actually a really challenging thing to do. The first step that you would need to do is take the white piece of paper, and I want you to divide it into 4 different sections. You can divide it into squares, you can divide it into a cross shape, you can divide it into squiggly lines, you can divide it any different ways, but we're looking for 4 kind of equal spaces. So what I'm going to do is divide this in half in a squiggly line because I like squiggly lines, and then I think I'm going to divide it in half in a jagged line because I think those are kind of exciting lines too. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different spaces. In those 4 different spaces, what I'd like you to do, I would like you to draw in 4 different textures. So that's repeated lines or repeated shapes. When you do that, I am using a marker so that you can see it easily with my camera. However, I would use a pencil if I was you at your house. So I'm going to do bubbles because those are my favorite, and I like to do them bigger and medium and small and have them go all over the paper. It feels fun and exciting. Sometimes they can go off the paper, over on the paper, doesn't matter. So just fill up this whole section with some kind of texture. To be honest, this bubbly kind of texture sort of reminds me of like lizard skin, which I think is so cool, or like dinosaur skin. In a different section, I'm going to make a new kind of a texture, and it's going to be a squiggly line texture, which I love. 2, it feels very flowy, and it could feel like waves, or maybe it feels like hair. But again, I want to fill in this new space with a different kind of repeated line or repeated space texture. In another section, I'm going to fill this on. This is going to be line texture, shape texture, shape texture. That's how I'm going to do it. And I love triangles. So I'm going to do triangles. They're almost looking like they're going to be in a triangle battle. And people have, first graders have such great ideas with different ways to create their textures. This one is super pointy. It's kind of funny that I did a pointy one by the bubbly one. It looks like this is about to pop. But any way you want to work it on here, you figure that out. And then on this one, I think I'm going to do a dashed line. Yeah, I'll do a dashed line. I'll go like this and have it be bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller, however I feel like it, but a dashed line texture. Now what I'm hoping is that you're going to come up with your own textures on here, so it's repeated lines, repeated shapes to create that texture. Then the next step is going to be to take this idea, dun, 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 and you're going to put it onto your metal. So if this is so this could be done. This could be, I think this is beautiful to look at. If you don't have access to the metal, this beautiful piece of paper, you're done with your artwork. If there are people that can come in and get the metal, you can come in and get these materials from Mrs. Samala, that's fine too. So I'm going to go like this and put it down. And I'm going to take a pencil, hold on for a moment, my pencil's behind me, and I'm going to retrace all of these lines on here. And when I do that, listen to these instructions now, I want to press hard. Not to the point where I'm actually going to break my pencil, but I want to press on it hard enough that it actually bends the metal. Now here's the rule. You might have already noticed that Mrs. Samala is working on a scrap magazine. It's because a magazine is kind of soft. If I worked on a pile of papers would kind of be soft. If I worked on my table would be hard. I don't want to work on my table. So what I've done is I've taken my piece of paper, I taped it into 2 spots on the metal, and I'm pressing right now into a soft magazine so that when I flip over my metal, it bends, and that's the exciting part. It won't bend unless you're actually working on a magazine. When you're done with that then, and I'm not, we'll just pretend that I'm done, you can take one of these cool tools, or what I love to use is a pencil that's broken. Then it's just a wooden tip. I just break that off, and I can press into this a little bit harder, and I can feel that metal bending, which is so cool. Now here's the deal. When you feel that metal bending, actually this is working with my pencil tip. I don't have to break it off, but I have done it before. I've just worked with my wooden tip before of my pencil. What I'd like you to do is bend the metal more without ripping it. Yes, I said ripping it. You could accidentally bend the metal so much that you rip through it, and we don't want that to happen. You can poke the lines going in, and you can even like push down the entire shape, and you could make your bubbles if you wanted to on this side. You could flip it over, trace them, and you could go in a spiral and make them come out if you wanted to on the other side. And if you have this metal, you're going to feel a lot of fun sensations, how you can feel that metal bending really slowly. And then the cool part about it is you can feel it with your hands. So you took this visual texture and you're making it actual, so you can actually feel it. Like if I close my eyes, my hand rubs around here. Be a little careful because these edges are sharp on the metal, but I love how that looks. And you're just going to do this all over the whole piece. Once you're done putting textures all over the entire piece, what will happen is you're going to take this off. I'm not done. I'm going to say this again. This is a demonstration, and I'm not done. I should not have done that, except for I'm doing a demonstration. So make sure you get all of your textures done. I'm going to put the tape over here on the copper side because I want that beautiful silver side to shine up, just like Klim's dad used to work in silver and gold. We're going to be working in silver today, and you're going to put it down on this sheet of paper, ta-da, and you have a frame. I love it. Then you're going to continue your lines. This is my big swervy line. I'm going to continue it like it never ended. Swervy line, continue. Jagged line going across. Jagged, 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 jagged. And then keep on jagged, 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 jagged. And then in here, in this whole shape, it was all my dash lines. Continue with your dash lines. And now you're going to come up with this super beautiful artwork that is metal and then has this cool frame. So I'm going to do my dash lines all the way in this whole area because this is my dashed line area. When I come over here, I didn't finish it here, but when I come over here, I can see this is my triangle area. Well, I have to fill up this whole shape with my triangles then. And when I flip it again, oh, I come over here and this is my bubble area. Continue with your bubbles until your whole frame is done and all of your metal is done. And it will be beautiful. Look at my image so you can see what it looks like when it's all done. I don't want to take any more time for the demo. I hope you have fun. Do what you can. If you can do this, thumbs up. If you can do this, thumbs up. They're both right answers. They're both playing with texture and exploring beautiful artwork. Thank you, friends. Have a great day.